Since we have you here tonight, I won't keep you long. I want to discuss two things with you. One, the first thing that I want to discuss with you is the flooding situation in Caparo. I don't want to find myself with Caparo underwater up to my waist again. And people have to come down with tall top boots and get this one and that one, and to try and get hampers and all kinds of things because people are marooned. So just like we're taking some action to deal with the crime situation in our community, I wanted to know if you would be prepared to try to do some preparation for in anticipation of any flood that might take place in the community. And we will work together with you. Now, I want to say to you that I raised the crime situation in Parliament last week, Friday. They had just robbed the Lakshmi Narayan temple, and I raised it as a motion on the adjournment. And I called for the resignation of the Minister of National Security if they cannot protect the communities in which we live. And I had a question on the Caparo flood, but the speaker did not allow it. So I didn't get a chance to ask it. My people, Dr. Ramanan, who is in my office, working with other people in the community, have done an assessment of the situation in Caparo with regard to flooding. And the result of what they did suggests that we need to do 4 things to solve the problem. The first thing is the dredging of the main water courses, but that alone will not solve the problem. The second thing is to build about 2 or 3 retention ponds to get the overflow of water. And the third thing is to go to, not Mamoral, what's it? Yes, to that dam, that water retention pond that they were trying to build in Mamoral. If we could get that started, not so much as a dam, but a retention area, what would happen is that with the retention ponds and the dam-like pond over there, and with the dredging of the river, we might be able to mitigate the flooding. Okay? Now, I am prepared to raise that with the Minister of Works and see if he can do something about it. And if he cannot do something about it or will not do something about it, we will try to do something about it alternatively. But what I need is the cooperation of the people. We are not in government now. We are in opposition. It's very difficult. We have to work with the government in order to get things done, right? Some of you may have had flood problems last time. It took us months working with the government to get stipends for you based on the flooding damage that you had. And you all know that it took time, it took a lot of time. We had to do things, we had to do them over, we had to pursue the matter, we had to talk to the minister in order to get those things done. So the question I want to ask you is, first of all, if you are willing to, we don't need to discuss all of those things now. If you are willing to meet again, we will have a meeting. We'll bring the relevant councillors in the area, we'll get the corporation, etc. We'll get the Minister of Works if necessary, and we will find a solution to this but we'll also take preventative measures. For instance, if we had to organize sandbags before, do certain things before, we could take preemptive measures to try and solve the problem. The question I want to ask, is the community willing to work in a collaborative way with me and the councillors and the people in the community and the agencies to prepare themselves for that? That's the first thing. Are you?
Yes, yes.
Are you prepared to do that?
Absolutely.
So what we'll do, I won't keep you long, I know you've been here long. We'll set a date for the meeting. We'll go around with a mic and tell people, and we will come to deal only with that issue, which is the flooding issue. The second thing I want to say to you is that we feel that the constituency of Caroni Central is under real pressure with the crime. And notwithstanding this meeting and the help that we are going to get for Caparo, I feel as a community, the community of Caroni Central needs to stand up and show the whole world that they are not going to allow their homes to be invaded. They are not going to be victims. They are not going to allow criminals to overrun them, and they are not going to put themselves in a situation where they are easy pickings for criminals in the country. We will work with the police as we are working there, but I wanted also to bring the whole of Caroni Central together in a people's march within the constituency, and we will go to the Chaguanas police station and we will give a petition to the senior superintendent in charge, the person in charge of the division, and we will go there with all the people in order to make our voices heard and to make our presence felt and to let the entire country, the entire world, and certainly the government know that we are prepared to stand up for our citizenship and our rights. And I want to ask you if you think you would be prepared to organize in Caparo to help us do that for the entire constituency. Would you be interested?
Yes.
You would be willing? All right. Well, what I would do is that on the day that we organize the flood meeting, the meeting for the flood, we will also discuss that issue. Those will be the only two items on the agenda. The day we are thinking of for the People's March or the People's Response to Crime in the country is June the 19th, which is a holiday. It's a Labor Day. It's Labor Day. And that's the day we are thinking of as the day to bring everybody from Caroni Central together in one big family march. So what I would like to do is to set with you now the date for the meeting on which we can discuss those two things. So we agree that we are going to discuss those two things?
Yeah.
And we are going to meet again. Would you like that day to be next week, Tuesday? Is that okay for you? And we can do it at the same time. We will keep the meeting no more than 1.5 hours long. We'll keep it short and crisp and do some organization. Is Tuesday a good day? Today is what day? Huh?
Today is the 4th.
Today is the 4th, tomorrow is the 5th, Tuesday will be the 12th. Is Tuesday the 12th a good day?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Are you willing to do this? I don't want you to say it because I'm here, I'm asking you and you're not interested. Because I'm a serious person. If I give you my commitment, I mean it. And I want you to be the same with me. And I want to do this not for me. All right? I don't get anything out of that. But what I get is the satisfaction of knowing that we have solved the flooding problem and we are prepared for the flood. And what I get is the satisfaction of seeing people who are finding themselves as victims and helpless in the society finally standing up and making the government and the authorities pay attention to their situation. And that is what I want to do. All right? And if we don't stand up for ourselves, nobody will stand up for us. Nobody from America or Europe or England or Latin America will come to solve the problems of Trinidad and Tobago and develop the country. And nobody from outside of Caroni Central is going to come to solve the grassroots problems of the people of Caroni Central. And in Caparo, if we can come together as a people to help ourselves and to work together and do things together, you'd be surprised at what a feeling of community spirit that will build and what a difference it will make in the quality of your life. More than that, you will feel a sense of personal respect that you stood for something, that you carried yourself in a certain way, that you work for yourself, that you work with each other and you got something done. And secondly, when you feel that sense of respect, other people will respect you. Because what is happening in this country is that those who have power do not respect the ordinary citizen of this country. And we have to put an end to that in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to put an end to a situation where people with high office and who have power wield the power without concern for the citizen. And the only way we can do that is if we take the responsibility for putting power in our own hands. Because at the end of the day, who determines who are the big shots in the society? Isn't it the people who go and they vote on election day? Isn't it the people that the politicians come to ask you for their vote and your support in order to go into parliament and other places? And therefore what is wrong is that the people who have the power, who are you, find yourselves in a situation in which the government who should be working for you and the opposition who should be working for you and the police who should be working for you, you find they now have the power and you are to beg them. Alright? And therefore the whole power structure of the society in a democracy has been turned upside down. And I want to help you to take it back. Alright? I want to help you to take it back. I want the people of Caparo to say, we are fed up for the last 5 decades of getting flood in Caparo, and we want a damn solution now. I want you to stand up with me. I don't want to stand up in Parliament and say that. I will do that. But I want you to say that. I want you to say, we the people of Caparo, as part of Caroni Central, we are tired of being sitting ducks and have people come in our house and chop us and shoot us and take our jewelry and money and get out of here like if they own us. And then when we're living in the house, afterwards we're feeling vulnerable because somebody just psychologically damaged our sense of security in our own home. I have personal experience of this in my own home, and I have personal experience of this in my sister whose home was invaded by 5 bandits. They don't live in Caroni Central. But what I'm telling you is what I've experienced, what I know. So I do not want this thing to spread in the community. I want the community to stand up. And if you stand up, I'll stand up with you. And believe you me, if you stand up with me, there will be no braver man in Trinidad and Tobago than me. Because I feel that the time has come that we have to start something. We have to do something. Because we cannot continue like this. What is the end result of staying quiet about what is happening in crime here? The end result is that they will invade your home. They will invade your neighbor's home, your other neighbor's home. everybody will be helpless. Nobody could help anybody because everybody feeling like they're vulnerable. It will be the end of your family life, end of community. I went to a fella in Rodney Road. They robbed his family. They tie him up and tie up the wife, and they had a little girl, a child. They put the child in another room, and they did not damage the people. They just tied them up, they robbed them, they take everything from them. But when I was talking to that fella, one of the things he told me was, he said, you know, Dr. Tibari, the worst part of this is that I didn't feel, after they finished with me, I didn't feel like a man anymore. He said, imagine I couldn't protect my wife. I couldn't protect my granddaughter. I had to just lie down there. They tell me not to move, not to talk. They tie me up, and I had to watch them. And anything they wanted to do, they could have done, and I had to sit down there. He said, thank God they didn't do nothing. They just take whatever they could take, and they're gone. But he said, after that, I did not feel like a man again. I felt so much sympathy for him. I went up and I hugged him up. And I tell him, I said, listen, don't despair. You did what you could do. Well, you have life and you have to find your way back. But how many people are going to do that too? We have to stop it. And I want you to help me to stop it. Will you stop it for your own sake? You're not doing it for me. Will you stop it for your own sake? Will you stand up on your own behalf? You will do it? Yes. All right, on Tuesday then, that's the 12th of June. On Tuesday night we are going to have a meeting. You want to have it right here? This is a good location? Or you want to have it somewhere else? We have it here? All right, we'll try and get the school again, and we'll have the meeting. And what will we discuss at that meeting? One, action on the flood on 2 counts, how to prepare for it as a community, and how to lobby the minister and get the retention ponds and the dredging done, right? And secondly, the People's March against murders and crime on June the 19th, and how we are going to organize for that. Okay? All right, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate your coming here. You came out in good numbers and you said what you had to say. And let us work together and do this, and let us see how we can hold the community together. Because only we can do that. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tibari, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for coming out and voicing your opinion, your feelings, and I think that we will be organizing more meetings like this in the near future. We have been promised by